Welcome in. You're listening to Locked On Now NHL. Local experts weighing in on the biggest stories on the ice. I'm your host, Kainani Stevens. Thank you for making Locked On Now your first listen every single weekday. We've got our Locked On NHL hosts. They're recapping all of the playoff action for you from Sunday, and we couldn't have asked for two better games to finish off the first round. We'll start in Madison Square Garden, where the Rangers won the early game.
The biggest game.
New York pulled off the win in dramatic fashion, trailing with just a few minutes to go before forcing overtime against the Penguins. New York sent the veteran Pittsburgh team home packing, and Locked On Rangers tells us how New York came through when it mattered most.
Holy wow, the New York Rangers just beat the Pittsburgh Penguins in Game 7 in overtime. Artemi Panarin, the hero, Mika Zibanejad, also the hero, timed the game with, 4 minutes and 45 seconds left there. Just absolutely incredible stuff. Third time in the last decade that the Rangers have bounced back from a 3-1 deficit, come back to win. It's the second time they've done it to the Penguins. And, doing that after just getting flat out embarrassed and run out of the rink in Game 4 to turn this series around and come back like this. Igor Shesterkin was the man in this game last night. And just an incredible, one of the most emotionally draining playoff series. I think you can probably see it in my face right now that I have ever been a part of. I'm not really a part of it. We're all fans here looking at this, but my God, just absolutely incredible stuff. And I don't know how I'm going to get through the next round. I don't know how Ranger fans are going to get through the next round. I will say, though, playing Game 1 against the Hurricanes, obviously you want to start strong and get a win. It's going to be nice that the Rangers' season isn't on the line. If you lose, your season isn't over. So I think all Ranger fans should take a minute to appreciate that fact. Obviously, they want to win. I'm already looking forward to playing the Canes. They're an unbelievable team, and they just had a heck of a series win against the Bruins. One of the best starts to a Stanley Cup playoffs I can ever remember. These series have just been incredible, and this Ranger-Penguin one was no exception. Just absolutely tremendous. I apologize if I'm all over the place right now, but given the circumstances, an overtime Game 7 win, a 3-1 series comeback, I think everyone can probably understand. So, yeah, that's pretty much it for now. Cannot wait to record the next episode of Locked On New York Rangers. Definitely do not miss that one.
The Stars season ends in Canada with the loss, and Locked On Stars goes over the full year and looks ahead as Dallas shifts into off-season mode.
The Dallas Stars' magical 2021-2022 season has come to an end. Hey, everybody. Dane Lewis here with the Locked On Stars podcast, coming to you early Monday morning after Dallas Stars Calgary Flames Game 7, a game where Jake Ottinger saved 61 shots, made some acrobatic, incredible saves. The kid was everything the Stars could have asked for and more in this entire playoff series. And he's still in his early 20s. He is the future of this team. He was the backbone of this team down the stretch of the season. And his efforts, as great as they were, not enough to push the Stars to the second round. Jacob Markstrom and the Calgary Flames get the better of Dallas in this game. And Dallas playing shorthanded from the get-go. Rupe Hintz and Luke Glendening both absent in this game. They lose Radek Faksa about halfway through the matchup. So they're hurt in the face-off circle there. And still a great effort. We saw goals from Vlad Nemestikov. We saw an early goal from Jamie Benn. That was a huge moment in the game for Jamie to strike first. And this was one of the most insane playoff series we've seen in recent memory. The best series of the first round and probably the best game of the first round in Game 7. Goes deep into overtime. Two incredible goalie performances. Two teams just battling it out with one another. And the image of Jake Ottinger's face after that Johnny Gaudreau goal goes in overtime will be burned into my mind for far too long. Jake Ottinger deserves all the praise in the world from the NHL community. I know the city of Dallas and his teammates, his front office have to appreciate the effort that he put forth. And man, the future is bright for Jake Ottinger and so many of these young stars. Jason Robertson, I think Vlad Nemestikov could have a nice future with this team. Rupe Hintz, even though he was absent in Game 7. And that's the silver lining in all this. The Dallas Stars still a bright future ahead, but a disappointing end to what was a fantastic season from this team. We'll talk about Game 7 and everything else Dallas Stars related moving forward on Monday's episode of Locked On Stars, and I can't wait to see you there.
That's all for today on Locked On Now NHL. Thank you for making Locked On Now your first listen every single weekday. Make sure you check out Locked On NHL and, of course, your team's Locked On podcast as the NHL playoffs continue. I'm Kainani Stevens. This has been Locked On Now.